In 2023, I spent over 5 figures and went to New Zealand 3 times to learn from the mentor coach to Olympic and world champions Dave Wood. It was a life-changing experience for me, and in this short video, I'm going to share with you the very best ideas I gleaned from Dave, spending a lot of time intensively one-on-one with him through workshops, personal coaching, conversations, etc. that really shifted my life from 2023 all the way till now. These secrets, I think, will supercharge your life and your business, help you be more successful, and reduce a lot of stress. Let's dive right in. The first lesson that I picked up is that everybody has the will to win, but winners and champions have the will to prepare. I spent 3 intensive one-on-one days with Dave Wood, and when I showed up, I gave it my 100%, but within the first 3 hours, I realized, hey, I don't think my stamina was up to par, because Dave, who had, he had hip replacement, he was at least 10 plus years older than me, he was burning me on the hills. I realized, hey, by surviving, I don't think my cardio was on par, I don't think my leg strength was really good. This fellow was burning me, and I think it was day 1, 6, 7 a.m. I was already struggling, I was panting. I told myself, oh my God, what was I doing for the last 2 or 3 months before I came for this intensive? I clearly thought I had prepared, well, pretty okay, but I had so much more in order that I could have done in terms of preparation. I started to realize also that if you want to win, it's one thing to, yes, show up and want to do your best. It's another thing to prepare, make sure you show up in the best shape ever, study everything you can, etc. So when I got back, I saw this quote: everybody has a will to compete and win, but few have the will to prepare. So if you want to be really good at something, do you have the will to prepare, to study, not just to compete on the actual day itself, but to really put in the time and energy to prepare, to master every element of your craft, and to show up really full on 100%? Because if you don't, then your lack of preparation and the fact that you're not a real student of the game will expose a lot of weaknesses, and you wouldn't be able to compete in the way you want to. Next thing I learned is that many of us, we are overworked and overstressed, and we have never actually learned how to regulate our emotions and our stress level. Many people believe they are like a linear graph. They can just get pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. I used to believe in that. I used to drink tons of Red Bull, coffee, never want to rest, etc. because I had a realization, or at least a thought at that point of time, that all rest was for weak people. If you're really strong, you never ever need to rest. But very quickly, the fact that I was burnt out, stressed out, I was just not in a good state, was making me make poor decisions that added to my stress level, causing me to be stuck in a stressed out loop. So when I was there, I realized that actually time in nature, doing proper breathing, eating right, unplugging from it all, it really helps performance. Stress is not for weak people. Stress is for smart people who really like to perform. For top sports people, they don't just push. They know when to push and when to take a step back. Performance is being able to deliver when it matters and being able to rest and regulate when you're off season. That is how you have a sustainable, high-performing career. And I realized that just constantly pushing, not sleeping, drinking tons of coffee every day, that was burning me out and affecting my performance. So my big realization there is that human beings need to learn how to regulate. Time to go for it, a time to take a step back and chill. And that if you don't do that, your stress will go out of control, you will burn out, you will break down, you will not snap at people, you will make poor decisions and make your life a living mess. So during those 3 days intensively I had with Dave, and other workshop days also, they put me through a lot of intensive activities, one after another. It was pretty relentless. And it was all designed to surface a lot of things that were happening in my mind. And I suddenly realized as I went through all these activities that, number one, positive self-talk is not just a motivational concept. It is very real. If you don't talk positively to yourself and you encourage yourself through tough times, you will not make it. It is not just a concept or just a positive thinking or say nice things. No, you got to encourage yourself, because whatever frame of mind you put yourself in is whatever resources you can access or not access from yourself. So if you put yourself in a negative state of mind, you're done. You will not be able to make it. You'll break down, you'll quit. It's game over. But if you at least put yourself in a positive state of mind where you're pushing forward, you're using your words, your thoughts, your picturing, visualization to propel yourself forward, there's a high chance that you may make it through. Really critical, the power of the mind. The next one, right, apart from self-talk, is learning how to breathe correctly, because breathing leads to regulation. When your mind is out of control, your breath is out of control, it is not a good place to be. The number one way to bring yourself back to center is through breathing. Being able to regulate calm yourself down, tell yourself that everything is okay, we are going to make it through. It centers you, it grounds you, it calms you, allows you to deal with whatever challenges come up. Super important. I also noticed that when I was stressed out, when I snap at people, when I make poor decisions, when I'm stressed, I usually don't breathe, or I breathe very shallowly. And so learning how to breathe, learning how to unplug, very, very critical. Now, the next thing that I learned was to take all big goals and divide them up into micro goals. Why? Because big goals sound very, very cool, but they're also very daunting. There was a lot of exercises that Dave had me do. And by the time I just completed one small element, it seemed like the goal was really, really huge. And that big goal was just like a huge obstacle. It just prevented me from moving forward until I told myself, you know what, I'm not going to count. I'm not going to think of how big the goal is. Why? Because the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. I'm just going to focus right in the present. I'm going to focus on what I can do now. And as long as I keep moving forward, I will overcome the goal eventually. And that was exactly the mindset I had. And I managed to do far greater than whatever goal Dave set for me. So I kind of realized, hey, you know what? Big goals are cool, but big goals, they are only achievable if you break them down into micro goals, and it's really critical to focus in the present on all the micro goals. Don't think about how far it is, think about all the goals that are right here and right now. And as long as you keep moving forward and don't give up, that is the most important thing. Now, another element under all the stress, duress, and pressure was going back to a huge concept called the big why. Why did I sign myself up for this entire thing? That was something that frequently occurred to me during the entire challenging activities that I was doing with Dave also. Why am I here? And I found that why. In the midst of the struggle, I found that why. I found that why because I want to be greater than all the things I'd ever achieved before. I used the challenges that Dave gave me as a way of showing myself that if I could overcome these physical challenges, I could overcome the other challenges in my life also. So for me, it meant way more than just doing non-stop activities, climbing up hills, going the cold and hot and all sorts of different stuff. I use this metaphorically as the challenges that I'm going to receive and confront in my life. And if I could overcome it over here, then I could overcome back in my life. And I wanted to show myself and prove to myself that I was that kind of person that can transcend anything that was thrown at me. And so having that huge why, what does all of this mean at the end of the end of the day? Right, short videos before where I spoke about emotional drivers behind goals. When you have a strong emotional driver, you're going to achieve it. If there's no emotional driver, you're going to give up. So I found a big why, a huge why for myself as I was doing all of these things. And I focused on that why as I went through the toughest of times and being able to find strength, focus, and energy in the times where I really, really needed it. Now, the final thing that I discovered was the power of giving 100%. I have a quote on my phone where I talk about the fact that nothing can stop a person who is willing, and this is a great Benjamin Disraeli quote, nothing can stop a person who stakes the existence, the complete existence of their human will, which means their whole existence behind that goal. If they stick every part of their being behind a certain goal, then nothing can really stop them. And I believe the same for you if you're watching this particular video, which means, simply put, if you want it strong enough, you'll find a way to get it. Which also means that if you don't get it, it doesn't really mean as much. And it's not as important to you. Because in those moments, when I was undergoing all of those challenges, I found something within myself. I found the second wind, the third wind, the fourth wind. I found like that beast within. It meant something for me. And I discovered that power within myself. And I realized, hey, you know what? On the surface, because if I can share a story, there was a times when Dave had me do exercises that eventually I did it for a long extended amount of time. I felt more energetic at the end than at the beginning. Why? Because at the beginning, my mind was weak. Yes, I had more energy in my body. My mind was very weak. I was kind of reluctant to be there, etc. But the longer I did it, I found the strength, the internal strength within. And I was like, you know what? If I have to, I'll just die here. I don't care. Like, I will overcome everything and anything that comes right. I will conquer all of it right here on this beach, and I'll leave everything 100% there. So when I found that strength within, I was in the right frame of mind, the right state. The challenges actually became easier, even though I've been doing it a very, very long time. And so having that self-realization where I realized, wow, there's so much power I have within myself, to the degree after doing this for 1 hour, I'm more energetic at the end than at the beginning, was something very, very life-changing for me also. And I promise you that 100% that is true for you. Now I understand why in the Navy SEAL Special Forces, they say that when you swear you're really, really tired, that means that you're only using about 40% of your capacity. There's huge amounts of resources left within you that is untapped also. Because I discovered that absolutely for myself. I saw I was really tired, but then when I was really focused, I found, the second, third, fourth, fifth winds of energy within that. And if I could sum up, the simple realization is that I'm way more powerful than whatever I think I am. So if I can sum up the entire experience, being able to commit and put myself in a place where someone's playing a much bigger game. You see, Dave is not just one of these speakers or coaches. Dave actually helps Olympic champions and world champions in different sports. So his perspective is really, really different, and the place where he comes from is really, really special, right? So putting myself in a place where somebody who operates on their very high level is coaching me, life-changing for me. The activities he had me do helped me realize the great, immense power within myself, and it showed me how Olympic and world champions actually think. They are human just like you, just like me. Winning mentality is their ability to break things down into micro goals. Their winning mentality is the ability to stay calm and know how to self-regulate, to have a big why, to discover the bigger self within them, to prepare when everyone else is out there partying and having fun, to really stay focused and really commit consistently every day to excellence. And when I left that place, when I entered and went there, I was curious, how exactly do world champions think? And when I left, I had the answer. And I've taken that same mentality and applied it to different areas of my life, be it the work that I do, be it the fitness I have, the kind of life I want to lead, etc. Because once you know the answer, why would you do anything else? So I hope this video has been helpful and useful for you. This is exactly how world champions think. This is exactly how they get coached in order to shape their mindset. And if you want more of such content, you can comment below. If I can answer the questions, I will. Reach out to Dave Wood at Integrated Training. He does these wonderful workshops at New Zealand. I think it'll be life-changing also. I'm looking to model some of these concepts and in the many work that I do. So if there's something you're interested in, subscribe. You can see how we can help you. And until next time, take care.